Shalom, shalom, and hello. This is Sister Victory. Blessing to all you saints of the Most High Yah. Blessings to you, sisters. Today I want to talk about a subject that very few people talk about or discuss. And I want to come from my heart, praying and hoping that it ministers to someone or someone you know, dealt with. But people are out here silently hurting without telling someone, letting someone know what they're feeling. And I want to talk about this in coming from us who have grown up in the 60s, late 60s myself. And I think about times that we visited cousins, friends, and some of those cousins or friends might have fondled you at times when you were little. And it was weird to you when it first happened. And I remember questioning, should I tell? I know it didn't feel right inside. I know that was something I never experienced at home. How many of us experienced that? And we can be honest about experiencing that with cousins. I remember having a cousin years and years ago when I was much younger. And I think I was about maybe 8 or 9. And I remember having a cousin, and she started off like just wrestling and playing and tickling. And, eventually as time went on, coming over after the visits, it went to touching different areas. And I remember feeling so awkward and out of place. And I just knew it didn't feel right. I know I never had saw that before, experienced that before. And I remember for a while when it was time to go back over there, I kind of kept my distance. And then, then she'd come around again and try to reiterate that situation again. And as far as she ever got was like dry humping on top of me or whatever. And I felt so bad, and I pretty much just let her know, don't ever do that to me again. But how many children don't speak up? How many children don't speak up and you just be quiet and you silently suffer? But in your gut feeling, you know that this is not right. You know that this is something you shouldn't be doing. You know that's something that your parents wouldn't be pleased with. And even harder, having a parent that doesn't talk to you, or a parent that's really hard on you. And so you don't tell because you're afraid that you'll get in trouble, or you're afraid that you may not be believed, for whatever the reason is. Fortunately, I was somebody that would defend myself. So I was able to stop it without telling my mother, because I was afraid of my mother and was fearful because she was not kind to me growing up. And so there was a fear. But I want to encourage you. I want to encourage the sisters. If you see signs of things going on, and you see the signs, and yet, you question the child's ability. Maybe the child seems withdrawn after they've left a certain person's house. Or maybe they're different in their behavior. Pay attention to that. Because we just never know. Everybody's not brave enough to stand up for themselves. And we can only hope that when we go off as mothers, that our children are going to be safe, We can only pray and hope that our children are safe in bed when you tuck them in and you leave to go to work at night. We can't afford to not pray, especially in today's society. We can't afford to not have healthy relationships with our children where they feel comfortable to tell us things. And I know because of my abuse growing up, I didn't know how to do that with my children. I was such a dictator because I was a single parent. All I had time was giving directions and instructions. Some fun times in between. I don't know who this is for today, but I want to encourage you. If you know someone, if you see a child that may be suffering from some form of a sexual abuse, encourage them. Let them know that they don't have to suffer this silently, suffer that inside. You know, the enemy tearing them down every day, making them feel guilty so they feel ashamed to tell. I don't know, like I said, I don't know who is this is for. But it's time that the church, it's time that the assemblies, it's time the people of the Most High be totally honest about our feelings, about what we felt, about our emotions, about our hurt and our pain, so we can begin to be healed. That is what Jesus, the Messiah, died for also, that we may be healed by his stripes. It is not just from diseases or sicknesses, but it's from emotional abuse, physically abuse, verbal abuses, every area that we need to be healed in our life. He wants to see us healed. He said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So I just want to encourage you today, sisters, if you know somebody suffering inside silently, if you just can't say anything to them, just encourage them to let them know that you love them and you care about them and you wouldn't want to see anybody take advantage of them in any kind of way or hurt them. And let them know most of all that the Most High loves them and that there is nothing too hard or too great for him, because he is able to handle everything, work out everything, things that we're not capable of. I pray that someone takes heed. If you know anyone, friends, families, even foes, too many children are out here hurting and suffering silently. And those same children sometimes grow up to be hurt adults if nobody reach out to them. If they don't find a way to be healed, somebody needs to care. Somebody needs to show love. In a world that we see love leaving every single day. Be blessed, my sisters. Shalom.